concealed in generation. God is concealed in the whirling energy of nature. God is manifest in gathering, harmony, consideration, the mirror of the sun and of the heart. The third triad: bearing, preparing, wavering, flowing, flashing, stability, begetting. The 10th emanation, the world. Chapter 1: The Sabbath of the Goat. O, the heart of Nox, the night of Pan. Pan, duality, energy, death. Death, begetting, the supporters of O. To beget is to die. To die is to beget. Cast the seed into the field of night. Life and death are two names of A. Kill thyself. Neither of these alone is enough. Chapter 2: The Cry of the Hawk. Hur hath the secret fourfold name. It is, do what thou wilt. 4 words, not one, many, all. Thou child, thy name is holy, thy kingdom is come, thy will is done. Here is the bread, here is the blood. Bring us through temptation, deliver us from good and evil. That mine as thine be the crown of the kingdom, even now. Abrahadabra. These 10 words are for the name of the One. Chapter 3: The Oyster. The brothers of AA are one with the mother of the child. The many is as adorable to the one as the one is to the many. This is the love of these. Creation, parturition, is the bliss of the one. Coition, dissolution, is the bliss of the many. The all, thus interwoven of these, is bliss. Naught is beyond bliss. The man delights in uniting with the woman. The woman in parting from the child. The brothers of AA are women. The aspirants to AA are men. Chapter 4: Peaches. Soft and hollow, how thou dost overcome the hard and full. It dies, it gives itself. To thee is the fruit. Be thou the bride, thou shalt be the mother hereafter. To all impressions thus, let them not overcome thee, yet let them breed within thee. The least of the impressions, come to its perfection, is Pan. Receive 1,000 lovers, thou shalt bear but one child. This child shall be the heir of Fate the Father. Chapter 5: The Battle of the Ants. That is not which is. The only word is silence. The only meaning of that word is not. Thoughts are false. Fatherhood is unity disguised as duality. Peace implies war. Power implies war. Harmony implies war. Victory implies war. Glory implies war. Foundation implies war. Alas for the kingdom wherein all these are at war. Chapter 6: Caviar. The word was uttered. The one exploded into 1,000 million worlds. Each world contained 1,000 million spheres. Each sphere contained 1,000 million planets. Each planet contained 1,000 million stars. Each star contained a many thousand million things. Of these the reasoner took 6, and, preening, said, "This is the one and the all." These 6 the adept harmonized, and said, "This is the heart of the one and the all." These 6 were destroyed by the master of the temple, and he spake not. The ash thereof was burnt up by the magus into the word. Of all this did the Ipsissimus know nothing. Chapter 7. The Dinosaurs. None are they whose number is 6, else were they 6 indeed. 7 are these 6 that live not in the city of the pyramids, under the night of Pan. There was Lao Tzu, there was Siddhartha, there was Krishna, there was Tahuti, there was Moshe, there was Dionysus, there was Mahmud. But the 7th men called Perdurabo, for, enduring unto the end, at the end, was not to endure. Amen. Chapter 8. Steeped Horsehair. Mind is a disease of semen. All that a man is or may be is hidden therein. Bodily functions are parts of the machine, silent unless in disease. But mind, never at ease, creaketh eye. This eye persisteth not, posteth not through generations, changeth momently, finally is dead. Therefore is man only himself, when lost to himself in the charioting. Chapter 9. The Branks. Being is the noun, form is the adjective, matter is the noun, motion is the verb. Wherefore hath being clothed itself with form? Wherefore hath matter manifested itself in motion? Answer not, O silent one, for there is no wherefore, no because. The name of that is not known. The pronoun interprets, that is, misinterprets, it. Time and space are adverbs. Duality begat the conjunction. The conditioned is father of the preposition. The article also marketh division, but the interjection is the sound that endeth in silence. Destroy thereof the 8 parts of speech. The 9th is nigh unto truth. This also must be destroyed, before thou enterest into the silence. Aum. Chapter 10. Whittlestraws. The abyss of hallucination has law and reason, but in truth there is no bond between the toys of the gods. This reason and law is the bond of the great lie. Truth, 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 crieth the Lord of the abyss of hallucinations. There is no silence in that abyss, for all that men call silence is its speech. The abyss is also called hell, and the many. Its name is consciousness and the universe among men. But that which neither is silent nor speaks rejoices therein. Chapter 11. The Glowworm. Concerning the holy 3 and naught. Knew it.
Clubhouse.
You do realize that we can't be on Clubhouse and
Right.
fast, right?
This is why
Wait, all y'all niggas Muslim?
figuring out a process now.
Why, are you gonna report us to ICE or something?
No, just I don't.
I mean,
I just know
y'all better.
how
I mean, now that y'all said.
Whoever in your life said I have very warm knees. Oh, for the love of God.
I just said that. I mean, this is why you can't represent. You can't represent my weather because you don't know what it's like to have warm knees.
I can't represent your knees either.
What up, Zach?
We have
Do you have 10 minutes for Toira?
Had it, Rahur Kuit, are only to be understood by the master of the temple.
Danny.
They are above the abyss and contain all
Hi, girls. Fiona and Gigi and Danny.
Fuck Israel.
Hi, Issa.
Hey, Issa. How you doing? Hola. ¿Cómo estás? So, yeah. So, Issa,
Hola,
man.
tea time. You are also a part of the girls. Sorry.
Part of
I
the girls.
Did I say tea time or did I
Well,
say
no, I think I was just called the F word by
Oh.
kind. So now I'm not a girl anymore. I'm a guy who's a girl who's
Yeah,
a
you
girl.
fucking
who's a guy,
Jew.
who's a guy,
Yes,
who's a
I
girl.
did call you that for you fucking Jew. You're a Jew.
Yes, yes, I like to fuck my Jew. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You're a Jew.
She's
You
like,
kill children.
she's a
You
Jew, so
scam.
what?
I'm a proud Jew.
That wasn't the F word I was thinking of.
Jews scam people. They
Yeah,
kill
fuck the
children.
Palestinians.
Issa, you dirty
Fine,
Honduran.
why are you
Talk
talking
about
about
yourself, kind. What's going on?
You, Issa,
What, you wake up on the
you're a
wrong
dirty,
side of the bed, kind?
you're a dirty,
Don't you
sneaky,
talk?
illegal immigrant.
So much hate.
Don't you talk
I
about
don't
you
hate
talk
what's
like
that?
that.
So why
You dirty Guatemalan.
Oh,
How do you know she's dirty?
Danny.
How do you know she's
Kind,
dirty?
find out how you feel about him. Come on. Let's-
Danny, you changed picture because you realize how
Oh,
ugly
hi,
you are.
tea time. What's up?
Hi, Riri.
Riri, tea time.
contradiction in themselves. Below them is a seeming duality of chaos and Babylon. These are called father and mother, but it is not so. They are called brother and sister, but it is not so. They are called husband and wife, but it is not so. The reflection of all is Pan. The night of Pan is the annihilation of the all. Cast down through the abyss is the light, the rosy cross, the rapture of union that destroys. That is the way. The rosy cross is the ambassador of Pan.
Just getting my
How
coffee.
infinite is the distance from this to that, yet all is here and now, nor is there any there or then. For all that is, what is it but a manifestation? That is a part, that is a falsehood, of that which is not. Yet that which is not neither is nor is not that which is. Identity is perfect, therefore the law of identity is but a lie. For there is no subject, and there is no predicate, nor is there the contradictory of either of these things. Holy, holy, holy are these truths that I utter, knowing them to be but falsehoods. Broken mirrors, troubled waters, hide me, O Our Lady, in thy womb, for I may not endure the rapture. In this
Good morning.
What is this that we're listening to?
Aleister Crowley's Book of Lies.
Oh, nice. I was liking that. All is Pan.
Yeah.
I owe Pan.
Did you see the link I sent you on Instagram?
I am Pan. No, I didn't.
It was a clip. It was the clip of you reading the hymn to Pan.
Oh, really? Maybe I should go listen to that. YouTube Shorts. Oh, see? There we go. Is it a video of your bald head? Oh, no, it's a video of the phone.
Freedom is here. Freedom is here. What was that?
Is it from the beginning? I mean, you're right. I should just read more poetry. Just read poetry and
Yeah.
make content. Gotta make content. I went to the gym already. You gotta go to the gym, I think, probably every day. And you gotta go, like, first thing in the morning. I mean, you gotta go early because the longer you wait, the higher the chances are that you're not gonna go. And you're delaying the benefits that you get
Yeah.
by going.
Yeah. I mean, some people go in the morning, some people go at night. As long as you go once every 24-hour cycle, that's the law, but yeah, going in the morning is basically.
You definitely got to go every day. I mean, even if you're not going hard that day, you got to do something. You got to do the bike or the rowing or the running or the lifting or the yoga or something. You got to do something, you fat fucker. You've got to do it. Do it, do it, do it.
I agree. People who don't do
Anyway,
it. Oof.
I was going to ask you the other day, you're not into this type of thing, but I got a new app on my phone that tells me what to do in the gym, and I like it.
Oh, cool.
It's a good app.
Yeah.
Sharp as an asp.
I would get this book too, Book of Lies. It's very, very deep book. It really touches on a lot of things. But
have you ever heard of Scott Peck?
No.
He wrote a book called The People of the Lie.
Ooh.
Which is not, I mean, it is a wisdom book, but not in the traditional sense. It's a textbook that he wrote about sociopathic people who lie.
Mm.
And it's a good book about the crazy people among us.
You know, my whole life, my sister has constantly told me, "You're such a liar. You're always lying. Why are you lying?" And like when I was young, I had the feeling that I was always lying, but I don't think I was really lying so much as like my sister was just fucking with me.
What did you lie about? Kelly was like, "Oops, no, wrong.
No, nothing I can remember. I think it was
this one in the book, they talk about the first story that he tells is about two brothers, and one of the brothers commits suicide by using a firearm. And he was like 17 at the time. And then, tell me what you think of this. For Christmas, or for his birthday, like the following year, when he was 15 years old, they give him the gun that his older brother used.
Damn.
They're like, happy birthday.
Damn.
And so, then he was like the shrink of the kid. He's the kid's shrink. But then he goes on to write that a lot of times when he's tasked with treating a teenager, he finds out that the parents are really the ones who should be in therapy, but they don't want to submit to therapy. And it's a very interesting book.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? It's a nice gun. The father was like, this is a high-quality firearm. Like, he should be grateful for this gift.
Okay, so I have another room open. It's called Reading Books to Each Other. Since you're in the Book of Lies, I'm just going to read to you a chapter from the Book of Lies. Midas is here. No, Midas, I'm not going to talk to you. This is called Dust Devils.
Why not? Who is he? All right, read it.
In the wind of the mind arises the turbulence called I. It breaks. Down shower the barren thoughts. All life is choked. This desert is the abyss wherein is the universe. The stars are but thistles in that waste. Yet this desert is but one spot accursed in a world of bliss. Now and again travelers cross the desert. They come from the great sea, and to the great sea they go. As they go, they spill water. One day they will irrigate the desert till it flower. See, 5 footprints of a camel. V. So that the verse, as they go, they spill water. One day they will irrigate the desert till it flower. That's like from the movie Dune. This is the commentary. Did Midas leave a chat? I really pissed him off. I was screaming at him the other day. It was pretty funny. This number 42 is the great number of the curse. See Liber 418, Liber 500, and the essay on the Kabbalah in the Temple of Solomon the King. This number is said to be all hodgepodge and accursed. The chapter should be read most carefully in connection with the 10th ether. It is to that dramatic experience that it refers. The mind is called wind because of its nature. As has been frequently explained, the ideas and words are identical. In this free-flowing, centerless material arises an eddy, a spiral close-coiled upon itself. The theory of the formation of the ego is that of the Hindus, whose ahamkara, is itself a function of the mind, whose ego it creates. This ego is entirely divine. Zoroaster describes God as having the head of the hawk and a spiral force. It will be difficult to understand this chapter without some experience in the transvaluation of values, which occurs throughout the whole of this book. In nearly every other sentence, transvaluation of values is only the moral aspect of the method of contradiction. The word turbulence is applied to the ego to suggest the French tourbillon, whirlwind, the false ego, or dust devil. True life, the life which has no consciousness of I, is said to be choked by this false ego, or rather by the thoughts which its explosions produce. In paragraph 4, this is expanded to a macrocosmic plane. The masters of the temple are now introduced. They are inhabitants not of this desert, their abode is not this universe. They come from the great sea, Bina. The city of the pyramids, VVVVV, is indicated as one of these travelers. He is described as a camel, not because of the connotation of the French form of this word, but because camel is in Hebrew gimel, and gimel is the path leading from Tifereth to Kether, uniting microprosopus and macroprosopus, performing the great work. The card gimel in the tarot is the high priestess, the lady of initiation. One might even say the holy guardian angel, or the Shekhinah. Okay, that's called the Book of Lies. I added the Shekhinah part in there.
Aleister Crowley is talking about Jewish
Yeah,
stuff?
British it's English Christian Kabbalism. They're big into it.
Aleister Crowley, I thought was American, or I'm confusing him with somebody.
No, the master is English.
Aleister Crowley. Who was there? American occultist guy? That's not enough information for you to guess what I'm thinking of.
No, the big English American one. There's a couple, but what is that one guy's name? I've got it over here.
It's like a CJ or a CC.
Manly P. Hall. I got this
Manly
book.
Peephole? I've got a Manly Peephole in a couple of my pants.
Manly P. Hall.
No, that's not who I'm thinking of.
Have you ever heard of the Bembine Table of Isis?
No.
Yeah, there's a lot in this book. Because a lot of this stuff comes off of Egyptian plates. You know, the Egyptians had all this mysticism, and so like they have pictures of these very complicated plates. One's called the Stele of Revealing. This is like the basis of Aleister Crowley's religion. And it really is a religion. And Crowley is the prophet of what's called Thelema. And Thelema is Greek for will or love. It's agape, in terms of gematria. I think you were listening to me reading about gematria yesterday. It's pretty far out because even like the word love backwards is evil. So how is a word forwards and backwards opposite? Like how does that
What word?
Eat love and evil? Love.
Love. Oh,
Love.
that is kind of weird, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. You know, the thing though, John, all that language stuff only works in English.
No, there's.
Does it work in other languages?
Yeah,
I mean,
Hebrew, the whole thing.
The rapist.
Yeah, that's another funny usage of the
Right.
word.
And by the way, if you go back to my original philosophy of rewilding, civilize. If you were to civilize the savages, that means you're going to teach the savages how to see evil lies. Civilization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
where we
another
live.
one.
We live in civilization.
Yep.
But actually, civilization might not be a good example because I think that in other languages but like for example, they have other words for love, amour. Like what's amour in French, what's the French word for evil? It's probably not amour backwards. Like that. It is funny how it works in English. In English, the rapist is the therapist, and there are other ones. This was an old. I always heard it was a Rastafarian idea called word sound power. Do you know about that?
Mm.
This was my friend, one of my first internet friends, Penniless Cripple. When I got on the internet in like 2007. No, listen, I was on the internet in 2007. I was doing YouTube videos. And there was this person who was always commenting, and I thought her name was Penile Scribble. Penile Scribble. But then it was Penniless Cripple, and she turned out to be a penniless cripple. And this is one of my, I should probably reach out to her. I haven't heard from her in a while, but she told me about word sound power. And it's a Rastafarian thing. Word sound power. Word sound power is a concept that describes the relationship between words, sounds, and power in art, music, and politics. Word sound power. You know.
Okay, so I'm reading from this Manly P. Hall book. It says, I'm reading about Kabbalah, the tree of Sephiroth. It says, Eliphas Levi declared that by arranging the tarot cards according to a definite order, man could discover all that is knowable concerning his God, his universe, and himself. When the 10 numbers which pertain to the globe, Sephiroth, are combined with the 22 letters relating to the channels, the resultant sum is 32, the number peculiar to the Kabbalistic paths of wisdom. These paths, occasionally referred to as the 32 teeth in the mouth of the vast countenance, or as the 32 nerves that branch out from the divine brain, are analogous to the 32 degrees of Freemasonry, which elevate the candidate to the dignity of a prince of the royal secret. Kabbalists also consider it extremely significant that in the original Hebrew scriptures, the name of God should occur 32 times in the first chapter of Genesis. In the English translations of the Bible, the name appears 33 times. In the mystic analysis of the human body, according to the rabbins, 32 spinal segments lead upward to the temple of wisdom, the skull. The 4 Kabbalistic trees described in the preceding chapter were combined by later Jewish scholars into one all-inclusive diagram and termed by them not only the Sephirotic, but also the archetypal or heavenly Adam. According to some authorities, it is this heavenly Adam, and not a terrestrial man, whose creation is described in the opening chapters of Genesis. Out of the substances of this divine man, the universe was formed. In him it remains and will continue even after dissolution shall resolve the spheres back into their own primitive substance. The deity is never conceived of is actually contained in the Sephiroth, which are purely hypothetical vessels employed to define the limits of the creative essence. Adolf Frank rather likens the Sephiroth to very-colored, transparent glass bowls filled with pure light, which apparently assumes the color of its containers, but whose essential nature remains ever unchanged and unchangeable. The 10 Sephiroth composing the body of the prototypical Adam, the numbers related to them, and the parts of the universe to which they correspond are as follows. Sephiroth, Kether, crown. And so it goes, there's the number, there's the Sephiroth, the universe, then the alternative. 1. Kether, the crown. Primum mobile, the fiery heavens. 2. Kokma, wisdom, the zodiac, the first motion. 3. Bina, understanding. Saturn, the zodiac. 4. Chesed, mercy. Jupiter, Saturn. 5. Gebura, severity. Mars, Jupiter. Tifereth, beauty. 6. Sun, Mars. 7. Netzah, victory, Venus, Sun. 8. Hod, glory, Mercury and Venus. 9. Jesod, the foundation, Moon, Mercury. 10. Malkuth, the kingdom, elements, Moon. Goes on and on and on. Oh, Abba. You know Kalev on here, the rabbi? He used to go by Abba, or the one for mother. But it says too, Abba, the Great Father, is the term generally applied to Kokma, universal wisdom, first emanation of Kether. But according to Ibn Geberal, Kokma represents the sun, the Logos, or the Word, born from the union of Kether and Bina. Oh, he called himself Ima. 3. Ima, the Great Mother, is the name by which Bina, or the third Sephira, is generally known. This is the Holy Ghost, from whose body the generations issue forth. Being the third person of the creative triad, it corresponds to Jehovah, the Demiurgus. So yeah, this is, like esoteric Judaism, and this is honestly like, I don't know, it's the meat and potatoes. It's really for adults. I mean, I guess you could teach it to kids. Oh, the bunny is here. Okay, are you gonna read anything today? Because if you go to the gym, you did the physical, the whole system. Now you have to focus in on the brain and read what's called a. Abby's here. Abby did a reading with me the other day. I was ripping ass. I was just farting the whole way through. What's up, Utsav? Okay, Zach, grab a book if you can. I'm going to read one more chapter from the Book of the Law. It's called Trouble with Twins. Holy, 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 5 unto 555 times holy be Our Lady of the Stars. Holy, holy, holy unto 156 times holy be Our Lady that rideth upon the beast. Holy, holy, holy unto the number of times necessary and appropriate be Our Lady Isis in her millions of names, all Mother, Genetrix, Metatrix. Yet holier than all these to me is Layla, night and death. For her do I blaspheme like the finite and the infinite. So wrote not Frater Perdurabo, but the imp Crowley in his name. For forgery let him suffer penal servitude for 7 years, but at least let him do pranayama all the way home. Home? Nay, but to the house of the harlot, whom he loveth not, for it is Layla that he loveth. And yet who knoweth which is Crowley and which is Frater Perdurabo? This is the commentary, the number of the chapter refers to Liber Legis 1:24. For paragraph 1 refers to Nuit. The twins in the title are those mentioned in paragraph 5. 555 is Hadit, had spelt in full. 156 is Babylon. In paragraph 4 is the gist of the chapter, Layla being again introduced as in chapters. The exoteric blasphemy. It is hinted in the last paragraph may be an esoteric arcanum, for the master of the temple is interested in Malkuth, as Malkuth is in Bina, also Malkuth is in Kether, and Kether in Malkuth, and to the ipsissimus, dissolution in the body of Nuit, and a visit to a brothel may be identical. Yeah, this Aleister Crowley stuff is all into sex magic. So, like, the next time you have sex, be aware that, I have this book called Sex Magic, and it talks about methods of meditation during sex. And so it's, like, about the kundalini, rising from the base chakra up until to the pineal gland, and you bust your nut. But the thing is, during that process, you can do it for hours, and not have an orgasm. So that type of conditioning is like one way to supposedly communicate with your holy guardian angel, which is the Shekinah, which was what Jacob was wrestling with, and then made it through the darkness into the light of morning, and then his name was changed to Israel. So that's you. That's the magic. Sex magic is like, it's the technology of the now. But everybody's too busy looking at a cell phone as opposed to meditating in the light of love. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, are you ready to read, Zach? Ready to create some content? This is called The Droop. You ready?
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at, I don't know, I gotta cook some breakfast, but I could read something.
Yeah, get yourself a set of Teflon. Spend the money. Go on eBay, sort by price. But get yourself a set of Teflon and put on a Teflon when you study in the morning. I mean, I'm not wearing my Teflon right now, but, you know, if you do, I will. Plus, I'll be doing it live on YouTube. My dad told me he saw a video of me once wearing Teflon on YouTube. He was like, I couldn't believe it.
That's good.
No, he was embarrassed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do that.
I'm like, you're embarrassed. I'm like,
There's so many things. This is called unlimited friendliness. May all beings be happy and at their ease. May they be joyous and live in safety. All beings, whether weak or strong, omitting none, in high, middle, or low realms of existence, small or great, visible or invisible, near or far away, born or to be born, may all beings be happy and at their ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none by anger or ill will wish harm to another. Even as a mother watches over and protects her child, her only child, so with a boundless mind should one cherish all living beings, radiating friendliness over the entire world, above, below, and all around without limit. So let everyone cultivate a boundless goodwill toward the entire world, uncramped, free from ill will or enmity. That's from the Majjhima Nikaya. However innumerable, However innumerable sentient beings are, I vow to save them. However inexhaustible the defilements are, I vow to extinguish them. However immeasurable the dharmas are, I vow to master them. However incomparable enlightenment is, I vow to attain it.
yeah. I'll say, if you want enlightenment, you know, you basically got to read a book. I don't think there's any other way to really do it. Because you'll run into somebody else who says, oh, you're enlightened? I'm enlightened too. And then you'll say something like, book. And then the other person will be like, oh, what's your favorite book? Okay, I clipped what you just read, so I'll send it to you after it processes. Okay, thanks for coming to my room called Reading Books to Each Other. This is Moon Earth, as well as Adrian Dittman in the Book of Lies and Magic Thelema and adriandittman.com. This is called Terrier Work. Doubt thyself. Doubt even if thou doubtest thyself. Doubt all. Doubt even if thou doubtest all. It seems sometimes as if beneath all conscious doubt there lay some deepest certainty. Oh, kill it. Slay the snake. The horn of the doubt goat be exalted. Dive deeper, ever deeper into the abyss of mind, until thou unearth the fox that unhounds. Yoicks! Tally-ho! Bring that to bay. Then wind the malt. Commentary. The number 51 means failure and pain. and its subject is appropriately doubt. The title of the chapter is borrowed from the health-giving and fascinating sport of fox hunting, which Fredo Perturabo followed in his youth. This chapter should be read in connection with the soldier and the hunchback, of which it is in some sort an epitome. Its meaning is sufficiently clear, but in paragraphs 6 and 7 it will be noticed that the identification of the soldier with the hunchback has reached such a pitch that the symbols are interchanged, enthusiasm being represented as the sinuous snake, skepticism as the goat of the Sabbath. In other words, a state is reached in which destruction is as much joy as creation. Beyond this is a still deeper state of mind, which is that. Welcome, Hermes.
Kill the doubt goat. Punish him. Punish him.
So, the Book of Lies, which book are we talking about?
Crowley.
Which one?
Crowley's Book of Lies.
Kill the doubt goat.
Hey, I know how to make cabrito.
That goat, is that like barbacoa?
Yeah.
Yum.
Goat meat. It's really good. You cook it. Once you finish cooking it, you stew it in a green tomatillo sauce.
Shalom, manishma, mashlomcha, mashlomech.
Guys, when you say the Book of Lies, which book are you specifically referring to?
Crowley's Book of Lies.
The Quran?
Aleister Crowley's Book of Lies.
Ah, the Quran then.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the Bible.
No. I mean, that's a Book of Lies too, but less lies than the Quran.
Who is this? Is this a Jew? Do you know this Jew,
Yeah.
John?
I'm not a Jew.
He's a Zoroastrian.
I'm a Zoroastrian. Do you even know what that is?
Yeah,
used to be a Jew.
vaguely.
This
Yeah,
guy's
so shut up then.
Magus.
All right.
You know, if I was Jewish, I'd be proud.
Magus.
I used to be a Jew. But then they
Anyway.
kicked me out because I wasn't circumcised.
Yeah, fuck off. Adrian, do you know what a magus is?
Yeah, you've already asked me this question.
Have you read The Magus by John Fowles?
Mm-mm.
No. Is it good?
Yeah, I don't know if you would like it. I mean, it's a novel.
Prose, fiction?
It's fiction. Yeah, it's about. I really liked it, but it's a lot about girls. He wrote it when he was 25, and it's from the perspective of a 25-year-old man, and it's a lot about girls, but there's also like a magical adventure. It's very good, but you might not like it because, it's quite juvenile. And it's not like a
I'll
wizard
give it a try,
book.
why not?
It's
I mean, it's got some sort of reference to the magus, to the magi.
You might like it.
Yeah, why
It's a quite adventurous book. He goes to Greece. He has an adventure. He meets an old man. I want to read it again. It's called The Magus by John Fowles.
Nice. I'm reading 100 Years of Solitude as we speak.
I've never read that, but I never read it, but I have it on my shelf right here. Should I read it?
You should, yeah, give it a try.
I have it right here.
Okay, before
I'm
you.
just looking at that John Fowles. It was published in 1965.
Okay, silence,
Yes.
please. Silence, please. Okay, I'm going to read this brief chapter called Mana. At 4 o'clock, there is hardly anybody in Rumpelmeyer's. I have my choice of place and service. The babble of the apes will begin soon enough on Clown House. Pioneers! Oh, pioneers! Sat not Elijah under the juniper tree and wept? Was not Muhammad forsaken in Mecca, and Jesus in Gethsemane? These prophets were sad at heart, but the chocolate at Rumpelmeyer's is great, and the mousse noir is like Nephthys for perfection. Also, there are little merengues with cream and chestnut pulp, very velvety seductions. Sail I not toward Layla within 7 days? Be not sad at heart, O prophet. The babble of the apes on Clubhouse will presently begin. Nay, rejoice exceedingly. For after all, the babble of the apes, the silence of the night. This is commentary. Manna was a heavenly cake which in the legend fed the children of Israel in the wilderness. The author laments the failure of his mission to mankind, but comforts himself with the following reflections. 1. He enjoys the advantages of solitude. 2. Previous prophets encountered similar difficulties in convincing their hearers. 3. Their food was not equal to that obtainable at Rumpelmeyer's. 4. In a few days I'm going to rejoin Layla. 5. My mission will succeed soon enough. 6. Death will remove the nuisance of success. Okay, that's called Mana.
Can I read you something, Adrian?
Yeah, max 5 minutes.
It's only 2 short stanzas, but I want your opinion. Alright. An old man's soul across a fiddle flute dances with swirling strums of an old lute. Melodic waves of his voice's cascades foretells us tales of ashes and soot. He was once one of those seldom heard few magi whose whispers whirled ascents askew. His kind were slain and murdered in lies, for his world was old as all else was new. Let me know your thoughts on that one, and if you'd like to share a quick other one.
Can you read it again, please?
Yeah, I would say it's good, but I don't know, the audio is not that good. I think you need to slow down what you're reading.
I would say read it again slower. I wasn't listening.
Alright. Can you hear me fine right now?
I can hear you, but John's right. Everybody needs to read slower. Except for me, maybe I need to read a tad faster.
An old man's soul across a fiddle flute dances with swirling strums of an old lute. Melodic waves of his voice's cascades foretells us tales of ashes and soot. He was once one of those seldom heard few magi whose whispers whirled askance askew. His kind were slain and murdered in lies, for his world was old and all else was new. Can you read slower?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, I thought that was good. Don't read it again.
What do you think, to be honest?
I think I liked it. His world was old and all else was new. It's about the guy who can't get with the times. He's a Luddite.
Yeah, but it also says the Magi were the Zoroastrian priests, because when the 7th century, when the Arabs invaded, they destroyed, completely annihilated Zoroastrian Persia. And at the same time, you see 2 religions spreading westwards. One is Christianity, one is Islam.
Okay, great. So this is a room. I have 3 rooms open here on Clown House right now. 2 Book of Lies and then one called Reading Books to Each Other with Earth. So anybody else want to read something? Because I want to stay focused here, not have conversations. I want to read books this morning.
Actually, before my time finishes, you said I had 5 minutes. Can I just read you another one, guys? A quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Please give me a feedback once I finish. You as well, Zach Ernest. No passion, nor remission, nor submission is my mission, since I have made my decision to move on and lead. No more a guest be my label, nor can some jest hence enable me to perch round that same table as those solemn few. I came as a child whose vision of a mad world cleaves incision, like an elder who envisioned what future brings. For consciousness cut within me, swirling sorrows churned akin he, whose own madness had bewitched we to wait on his steps. The golden knob of his oak door, emboldened dark on his cold floor, anxiously I shall wait no more for such law. So I creep away as winds whisper sway astray, this outsider, whose sole tale is not of avail. Yet the road I seek is broken, debrided rivals bear no token. Debrided rivals bear no token of an axiom seldom spoken. Lies mixed in like flies. Where a pathway faint and faded was my walkway, quaint and fabled, like an old poem whose sole label is fictitious bore. That's it. I don't know if it makes sense. It's probably rubbish, but any feedback is appreciated. Okay?
I liked it.
I liked it. Can you read it without the accent?
Maze,
I have to be honest, I'm not sure about the tenses here. The tenses are a little bit all over the place.
Can you read it without the accent?
Is that cool with you, admin, Adrian? If I read it again?
No, let's try to read something new. No repeats. We don't have time for repeats. But it was very good. Okay, Zach, are you still cooking breakfast? Or are you going to read something? You want to read it, Tanya?
I could read from the time. I'm doing this fucking very boring driver's course. I do have other books. I have this book, The Essential Mystics.
Yeah.
Oh, let's read that.
It's all the mystics from all over the world.
Well, we kind of want like a hypnosis script. We don't necessarily want nonfiction or somebody's, narration. We want.
That's all this is. That's all this is.
We
But,
want Gnostic. We want Gnostic. We want transformational psychological Gnosticism.
This is the Four Noble Truths. Have you heard this before?
Yep.
Well, it's a meditation.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Monks. That's what I will henceforth be referring to you guys as, fellow monks. Monks, what is the noble truth about suffering? Birth is suffering, old age is suffering, death is suffering, grief, lamentation, discomfort, unhappiness, and despair are suffering. To wish for something and not obtain it is suffering. Briefly, the 5 factors of attachment are suffering. Monks, what is the noble truth about the origin of suffering? Just as this craving leading to rebirth, accompanied by pleasure and emotion and finding satisfaction now, here, now, there, namely the craving for sense pleasure, the craving for new life, and the craving for annihilation. Monks, what is the noble truth about the cessation of suffering? Just the complete indifference to and cessation of that very craving, the abandoning of it, the rejection of it, the freedom from it, the aversion toward it. Monks, what is the noble truth about the way that goes into the cessation of suffering? Just this noble eightfold way, namely right view, right purpose, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Be a lamp into yourself. Work out your liberation with diligence. Fill your mind with compassion.
Okay, what do you want me to title this? I just created like a little clip. I didn't get the whole thing, but how about we call it Morning Meditation with Zach Ruda? I won't.
Why don't you open a room at the Dow and Tanya house?
I did yesterday or the day before. I created a lot of content in there for you.
Nice. Dow and Danya.
Do you have a YouTube account?
Yeah.
What's the handle?
ZZZ 33333.
What? Okay, never mind.
Why, bad handle?
I typed it in, nothing came up. I mean, you got to use something simple like, red apple.
Alright, nothing came up. Hang on. That 4 threes.
Okay, this was your first clip, Zach. Listen to this one.
You typed it wrong.
And at their ease, may they be joyous and live in safety. All beings, whether weak or strong, omitting none, in high, middle, or low realms of existence, small or great, visible or invisible, near or far away, born or to be born, may all beings be happy and at their ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none by anger or ill will wish harm to another, even as a...
Anyways, the name of this YouTube account is Subscribe Now I, EYE.
That was bad. Should I read it again? It sounded angry.
No, it's okay. That was actually very good. It may sound different because that's why I say go on your phone and watch the actual YouTube because it probably sounds different through Clownhouse. But
it sounds the tone.
It sounds nasally, but that's okay. Like you're actually doing very good. Like you could have you could make money doing this, because this is essentially hypnosis. So what this really is a hypnosis business. And yesterday I was on Clownhouse. There was a room called like the NLP Coach Success Business or whatever. But they're so stupid. They don't understand what they're really doing is hypnosis. So that's why I say what you're doing is and what you're reading is a much better form of hypnosis for therapeutic purposes than talking about NLP coaching, Because you're reading high value wisdom stuff, which is changing brains as opposed to just, casual conversations. Brain science.
I put the link in the chat for my YouTube handle.
Definitely change that to something like Zach plays music, Zach reads books, because that has no keyword search engine optimization value whatsoever.
I don't know if I can change it.
Yeah, you can. You go into YouTube, you click your profile, you click edit or change description of whatever it is, and then you click your handle. You can change it because I've changed 100 handles in the past 30 days.
Setting. View advanced settings.
It's under, if you click your profile, then you click at the top where it says view channel. Then there's a little pencil, click the pencil. And then under handle, change your handle to something like audiobooks by Zach or reading books, something.
Zach De La Ruta?
Unless you want your real name, which I would go against, and I would just call the channel YouTube Audiobooks.
Yeah, don't use your real name, D.
Well, but this channel is have you looked at the channel?
Mm-mm. Nobody cares. Just change your name to something that is easy and related to books. Because I think books are the way to go. You could call it books and music. I mean, you can think about this and go back and change it, or you can just do it now and change it again in 14 days or whatever the cutoff period is.
Yeah, you could change it to Buddha Master.
Yeah, do some positive neurolinguistic engineering here. I think I've already seen your YouTube. I'm not being facetious. I'm really trying to give you some... This is like me helping my friends out with their dating profiles or their social media. You've got to make some edits here, dude. That is the worst YouTube channel. Name. It's got to be something related to what we're doing now, which is creating audiobooks, aka hypnosis. Zach, somebody came in here yesterday and told me that you were helping Roger Mayhem with his lawsuit against me. I was like, what the fuck?
I think they got me confused. Listen, I just tried to change my handle to a bunch of other shit. And, you know, a lot of times, I don't know if you've seen any, like, new rappers, but the names are getting used up. So a lot of new rappers are, like, you know, Drake 12369. Like, they have to have their name, their rap name is, like... I want you to try again. It's very easy. You can count youtube.com/ZZZ.
I get it, dude. I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. I'm just here trying to help you edit.
I know, but I can't. I've also had this YouTube channel for like 15 years.
Well, then great. Time to change, you know? Change or die. Evolve or die. I don't know what you're doing with your time, but I can tell you you're not being productive.
140 subscribers on the Rewild Main.
That's great.
Yeah.
But nobody cares.
Evolve or die.
See, your problem is you're hypnotized with this term called rewild, main. You know, those are just meaningless words that will have no real value for the vast majority of people that are looking for psychotherapeutic hypnosis, you know, which you can deliver.
Viewed video. What's your most viewed video?
Girls have sex with massive giant penis.
That's the one where you fuck the girl?
No, it's called $1 a date is the YouTube channel.
Well, look, the Rewild Main video YouTube channel has a lot of views here.
Great. Well, keep working on it. Create something new. Maybe read a poem. Have you think about that? Have you read a poem on YouTube yet?
No.
Why not? Why are you wasting your time?
I don't know. Fear. What if people don't like poems?
What do you have to lose? I don't understand. Do you have like some big reputation? Some big bank account that you're worried about losing? Like, what are you trying to actually lose? You got nothing. What do you have? Nothing. Think about that. You're all see, your problem is you live in fear and you think about everything instead of just doing. You know, God is go do go.
A lot of the videos here on the ZZZ have 60,000, 26,000, 24,000, 21,000. The Salad Ballad has 14,000.
Wow.
App has 20,000. That's something.
That's great. But now we have to create new and we need to monetize you. So until you change some things, you know, maybe even retitle things, it really doesn't matter. The whole point is creating something new using the technology, which you're not doing. Like, I want you to create a room and it'll say YouTube Live. And then I want you to take that YouTube Live and pin it to the top of the room. See, you come in rooms and you just consume. You consume, but you're not creating anything. So, you know, until you actually show me what you're doing, like, I really don't have any faith in what you're doing. I need to see what you're doing. I need links. I need deliverables. Don't just tell me what you're doing. Show it to me. Give me a link. Create a room. Text me links to things you're creating. I mean, what are you creating? And I don't want to see you just doing hip hop. I don't want to see you doing hip hop, you know, like the same old thing. I want to see you sit down and read a poem, and then it'll be amazing. And it'll be 3 minutes long. And I'll be like, wow, dude. And that got 48,000 views. Whoa, bro. Next thing you know, you're like an influencer. And the next thing you know, you're like, dude, we're going to South Beach. I made $1 million on YouTube this year because you convinced me to keep going, to keep doing. And I'll be like, excellent. I'm being a little harsh this morning, but I want to really instill in you that you need to create something new and not what you've traditionally been doing, which is hip hop. You have to narrow in the communication hypnosis, make it even more potent with poetry. And I know hip hop is poetry, and I'm not knocking what you've done, but I'm trying to get you to change, to evolve.
I hear you. I just am also doing this very boring test here.
So, Alan, welcome to the Book of Lies as well as reading books to each other. This is my morning meditation. We're going to do a hard out in 12 minutes. Is there anything you'd like to come up and say or read to the room, Alan? Hermes, is there anything you'd like to read?
I will as soon as I get to the dealership. I'm dropping my car off. Taking about 10 minutes.
Oh.
I'll read something.
Okay, go ahead.
How do you respond to reduce risk? No driver ever wants to be in a situation like this. Good approaches to reduce your risk may include 1. Brake and let the truck move ahead before you arrive in the narrow lane. This would make it more likely that you would have some more space to your right as you go through this narrow chute. Number 2, the best solution would have been to see this situation much earlier and have made your adjustments to get more space way before this point. That's great. Let me read that again. The best solution would have been to see this situation much earlier and have made your adjustments to get more space way before this point. Did you ever even think about that? Should I read from Islam?
It doesn't matter what you read, but we want to be concise, you know? We want to read indented things that are called out. We don't want to just read for the sake of reading. We want you to say what you're reading, read what you read, and that's it.
I'm going to try to sound less angry here, all right?
Okay, excellent.
How long will you persist in blasphemy? Escape your selfhood's vicious tyranny. Whoever can evade the self transcends this world, and as a lover he ascends. Set free your soul, impatient of delay. Step out along our sovereign's royal way. We have a king. Beyond Kaf's mountain peak, the Simorg lives, the sovereign whom you seek, and he is always near to us, though we live far from his transcendent majesty. 100,000 veils of dark and light withdraw his presence from our mortal sight, and in both worlds no being shares the throne that marks the Simorg's power, and his alone. He reigns in undisturbed omnipotence, bathed in the light of his magnificence. No mind, no intellect can penetrate the mystery of his enduring state. How many countless 100,000s pray for patience and true knowledge of the way that leads to him whom reason cannot claim, nor mortal purity describe or name. Their soul and mind bewildered miss the mark, and faced by him like dazzled eyes are dark. No sage could understand his perfect grace, nor seer discern the beauty of his face. His creatures strive to find a path to him, deluded by each new deceitful whim. But fancy cannot work as she would wish. You cannot weigh the moon like so much fish. How many search for him whose heads are sent like polo balls in some great tournament from side to giddy side? How many cries, how many countless groans assail the skies? Do not imagine that the way is short. Vast seas and deserts lie before his court. Consider carefully before you start. The journey asks of you a lion's heart. The road is long, the sea is deep. One flies, first buffeted by joy, and then by sighs. If you desire this quest, give up your soul, and make our sovereign's court your only goal. First wash your hands of life, if you would say, I am a pilgrim of our sovereign's way. Renounce your soul for love. He you pursue will sacrifice his inmost soul for you. It was in China, late one moonless night, the Samorg first appeared to mortal sight. He let a feather float down through the air, and rumors of its fame spread everywhere. Throughout the world, men separately conceived an image of its shape, and all believed their private fantasies uniquely true. If this same feather had not floated down, the world would not be filled with his renown. It is a sign of him, and in each heart there lies this feather's hidden counterpart. But since no words suffice, what use are mine to represent or to describe this sign? Whoever wishes to explore the way, let him set out. What more is there to say?
Okay, welcome to the Book of Lies. Sorry, I had to take the Cosby kids to the beach, if you know what I mean. Danny.
You defecated?
Yeah, Danny, do you want to say anything? Do you want to read a book to us? You got anything good you want to read this morning? I know you probably need to read a book instead of just talking all the time, like an 8-year-old child about, everything under the sun. Maybe you'd like to read a book?
So I forgot I was in here. All this stress for no reason, it's just like the cycle of stress because I have someone in my life that I don't really like too much. And they don't really like me either. So it's like this game that we play that we pretend that we like each other when we don't. So yeah. What's on the menu? Like, not menu, agenda. What's that word? Syllabus? No. What am I searching for here?
This is a book reading room. Do you have a book you can read to us? Do you have the Bible? Just grab the Bible and read Psalms to us.
I'm just going to read to you the first book I see, okay? The Heart of a Champion, a basketball coach's memoir of a championship team by Gus Alfieri. The Heart of a Champion should be required reading for all young coaches. Bob McKillop, Davidson College, coach of Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors. Now, I really hope I said Steph Curry's name right, because that's what cost Nike, he went to Under Armour because they called him the wrong name.
Well, Danny, it looks like you got quite a few problems, but your whole way of thinking about your problems is the problem. That's the biggest problem. And you are what you say, so, be mindful of what you're saying, because a lot of the things you're saying just are not true. And, you're maximizing, you're minimizing, you are saying all or nothing statements. You have a cognitive distortion disorder, Danny.
Oh.
I have this book. Yeah, I was very depressed, and my dad sent me this very good book. It's called The Feeling Good Handbook. It's about cognitive behavioral therapy. But really, it's all about neurolinguistic programming, and that's why I'm trying to get you to read a book, because your thoughts are very misleading. And if you were to read a good book to us, you'd be reprogramming your brain to be less retarded. But you don't do that, do you? You just come on here and talk all the time.
Yeah, I guess that's what I do all the time.
Why don't you try reading the Bible to us? Open the book of Psalms and read King David's wisdom. Maybe the king can help fix
Last time
you.
I read the Bible, it didn't end well, okay? So I'm going to stay away from the Bible, because I like to treat the Bible like a data, like a dadaist, like the French art movement, where, they took a dictionary and they said, what are we going to name, like, the greatest art movement of all time, which is Dada. And so...
Okay, sorry, Danny. I'm going to show you how to meditate, because this is really what you need. You're retarded. You have a kid, you have a husband, you're on here running your mouth about nothing, It's a waste of your time, a waste of my time. I don't want my time wasted, so I'm not going to listen to your shit. You know, you can go on about Dadaism. I like all that shit, but not right now. You know, it's in the morning. We're meditating. If you want to read like the Book of Psalms or something other than some fucking basketball coach in his winning season, I mean, I know you're trying here, but try harder, okay? I'm going to show you how to meditate. I have little 3x5 cards of verses from the Bible, which are essentially psychological reconditioning tools. I hope you enjoy. I'm only going to read for a few minutes. I encourage you to do what I'm doing, not what you're doing, because what you're doing is making you miserable. It's making your husband miserable. It's making your child miserable. It's making me miserable. No one wants to hear it. If you have a book, Danny, I will bring you back up. If you want to read King David, your child is going to be miserable if you're miserable and your husband is miserable. That's right. Yeah, Danny, you're retarded. I hate to tell it to you, but you fucking need some Toira in your life real quick. Because all you do is come on here and complain and cry and get emotional, and people give you, you know, advice. You're a grown woman. Read the Bible. Come on here and read the Bible. Fix yourself in the morning so the rest of your day can be positive. Exactly. It's Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic, stupid. This is tough love, Danny. I hope you're not even laughing. I hope you're like, fuck, he's right. I'm a fucking moron. Sorry for the harsh words, Danny, but this is what you came for. You know, I'm a former military officer and an infantry sergeant. I know what it's like to get yelled at, and I know what it's like to be mean and nasty, but I also know what it's like to be nice and to be, ew, Danny, gross. Try to use positive PTRs, Danny. Jesus. Okay, this is how you meditate, Danny. You take the biggest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. The kingdom of God is within you. Whoever believes has eternal life. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Don't be afraid, just have faith. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in me and trust also in me. Trust in God and trust also in me. Do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. Oh, Danny couldn't take it. She wants to get her dopamine up by ruining other people's time. Your Father knows what you need before you ask him. If two of you agree here on earth concerning anything you ask, my Father in heaven will do it for you. I am with you always to the end of the age. Your Father already knows your needs. Love each other as I have loved you. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. God loved the world so much that he gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Be happy, yes, leap for joy, for a great reward awaits you in heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Anything is possible if a person believes. Your faith has saved you. Go in peace. My Father's will is that everyone who looks to the Son, believes in him, shall have eternal life. It is more blessed to give than to receive. You can pray for anything, and if you believe that you've received it, it will be yours. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. You will be blessed. I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. Everyone who lives in me and believes in me will never ever die. Anyone who believes in me will live. Peace be with you. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. Where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do. Nothing shall by any means hurt you. Rejoice because your names are written in heaven. How much more will the Heavenly Father give the Holy Spirit to those who ask him? Freely you have received, freely give. Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be full. I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. When the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth. Be encouraged, my child, your sins are forgiven. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. The Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Welcome, Danny. This is called reading books. That's right, Danny. Reading information is very beneficial to the human brain. Let's see if you have the power to actually read anymore, or if you've become fully fucking retarded. Hello?
Hi, I love reading books so much, but now with the introduction of negative time, maybe when we read books, we're changing the course of time and creating little butterfly effects in the ripples of times in the space fabric.
Must be some good shit you're smoking.
No, actually, I'm stopping smoking because I feel that that's a nasty habit. I'm trying to improve myself.
Oh, hi, Miriam. I'm gonna block Miriam. Because I have a sneaky suspicion that Miriam is a spy. She comes in to see if I'm live broadcasting other things.
But why don't we just welcome the spies?
Because I feel like it's kind of actually interesting when you block people. I've only blocked like a couple people, but I only do it not because I'm upset with the person, but because I just want to experiment with blocking and see how that like changes my burner account stuff. Because like this Earth account was a burner account for quite a hot minute. I got a lot of juicy content. I know I'm being like ridiculous, but honestly, like curating a new account, you know, is it's a little bit of work.
So someone in the chat, they used the N-word. We could report them if you want, but I don't remember who that is.
Yeah.
They said you're not good at making money.
I saw. Okay, do you want to read a book, Danny? This is my morning meditation, not my Danny moment of my life.
I think it's my turn to give you advice now, because as an INFP, I may not be good at
Let me just help you with the advice, Danny. If you're not reading a book, I don't want to hear it. I'm serious. If you're not going to read a book, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to listen to you if you're not going to read something. Because you're ruining my meditation. I'm here creating peace and equilibrium and balance in my life. You are not creating peace or balance in my life or your life. Therefore, I have to moderate like an adult and try to control your aimlessly wandering mind. This is the point of meditation, is to focus, to shut up, to listen, to speak things of wisdom. So if you want to grab a book...
Adonai Echad.
That's a take.
Way, namely, right view, right purpose, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Be a lamp into yourself. Work out your liberation with diligence. Fill your mind with compassion. Just this noble eightfold way, namely, right.
I guess I'm being really harsh on you, Danny, but I want to like try to help you because you get a lot of responsibility, and the smarter you are, the easier it will be. And since you're not making yourself smarter, it's up to me to try to make you smarter. Hermes, what is your zodiac sign? Okay, this is called Granny Rainbow's theme song. I'm going to try to sing it. All beings form one great family of light. I am part of you. You are part of me. Together we are one big rainbow of love. Rainbow colors, roses are red, cats can be orange, sun is yellow, trees are green, birds are blue, your clothes may be purple, and together they're the best mix that ever can be seen. Okay, this is called love. What is love? In simplest terms, love is God's sharing of himself with all of his creations. Love is the healing force of the universe. Love is within the soul and needs only your allowance to those innate sensations of loving others and receiving their love for you. Love has no limitations, no boundaries to its capacity. In expression, love is treating others with kindness, fairness, honesty, compassion, helpfulness, caring. If love can be said to have ingredients, then those are some of the ingredients of godly expression and action. Knowing that you are God and every other of God's creations are inseparable is love. Knowing that Earth is a sentient, conscious life herself and respecting all of her life forms is love. Realizing that no one can know others at soul level and therefore does not judge them, but rather does not condone an action seen as injurious is love. Listening to one's God self is love. Living the kind of life that engenders loving self is love. Feeling joy yourself when you see it in others is love. Doing something that brings joy to another is love. Forgiveness of self and others is love. Sharing your resources with full heart is love. Doing good deeds without attaching expectations is love. Feeling peace of heart and mind is love. The quiet thrill of seeing a sunset or hearing a songbird is love. A smile is one of the simplest and most radiant expressions of love. In any or all of these instances and many others that you instinctively know are love in action, you are manifesting your love for God. Mother, I don't think I've told you anything at all surprising, but perhaps it is good to have some references as a guiding light in these times when darkness may seem to be overshadowing the magnificent abundance of love that's in your world. Be unto others as you would have God be unto you. Maharaji, how can I know God? Serve people. Maharaji, how can I get enlightened? Feed people. Maharaji, how can I raise Kundalini? Serve and feed people. We serve God in order to become free, and we become free in order to serve. The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. The fruit of service is peace. When the irony...
I couldn't get in here. I thought you blocked me. I was like, whoa.
No, I'm not going to waste my time blocking you. It's a little too much. But, I just want you to read on here because, you're really going to solve nothing talking to people on this app. And if you come on here and you read good books, you're going to help your brain a lot, and you'll help your husband, you'll help your child, you'll help yourself.
So, what do you believe would be good conditioning for my brain? Like how should I condition my brain?
You need to get books on love. I just read a whole thing about love. I think it'd be very helpful for you. Do you want to hear it?
Someone said something really smart today about cycles and relationships, but I forgot who said it.
You need to do independent programming. You are like a codependent woman using this app to get your dopamine. You need to create your own dopamine by reading books. Until you actually try this, you'll never know. But when you experiment, it's science.
I mean, the way I feel about it is that I don't like reading books. I like it when someone reads it to me. So I'll play like YouTube of like a book, and that's how I like to take that in. Yeah. So like I'm very like I know what type of media is best for me.
I get it, fatty. I get it, fatty. It's like somebody who wants to watch a video of somebody going on a jog versus somebody who's actually gonna go on a jog. That's the difference. Reading a book versus listening to a book are two entirely different experiences.
Or writing a book is another experience altogether. So there's reading a book.
Didn't you go to college? Did you go to college?
For a little bit, to be honest. I'm just like...
Okay, because in college, you spend 4 years reading and writing, like nonstop, But it doesn't just end after college. You got to keep doing it. So this app is for lazy people. And the point is, if you want to use this app correctly, you have to read into the app. To me, it's been very beneficial. I'm a much more regulated person. Like, I mean, I'm indulging you, but I'll be honest with you. Like I don't have children, but like I know how to brainwash people, and my children will be brainwashed, and so.
Yeah, my kid's pretty brainwashed and very smart.
But you're not brainwashing yourself. You're not getting the point. The point is to read books.
It's not me. That book that I was reading to you, I got for my husband to read, so he would have a book to read. But he never read that book.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I could read a book, but the book that I would read would be about making money at this point. I feel like when it comes to love and all that, affirmations, and binaural love, unconditional love frequencies, like that's just like a shortcut.
Okay, so the whole point is to read a book, not talk about reading books. If you have a good book to read, I will sit here and listen to it because when you study with a partner and there's other people listening, the presence is there. The whole point about reading and studying wisdom is the presence gets activated. It's like a
I
kundalini.
think that you and Nora are kind of similar in the way that you read the books.
Danny, it's also therapeutic. You need therapy, and the cheapest therapeutic device is reading a book, reading a good
Everyone
book.
needs therapy. I will take that if everyone needs therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not
I
personal.
can also
Everybody
give
needs.
therapy. Nothing is personal, right?
No, everything is personal. But you're correct in saying that. Listen, my point is that reading these books is therapeutic. That's why I do it. I like to do it in the morning. You're still not doing it. You're still just talking to me, having a conversation.
I feel like what is therapy for some is like trauma for others.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you another 1 minute to try to read a book into this room. Otherwise, I'm going to kick you back to the goo.
One day there was a man named Tanya. Tanya was a great man who lived in the land of Tanya.
How do you reasonably expect to raise a child when you can't even raise yourself? You're like an immature person. That's your biggest problem. Is reading a book will mature you. It's like
But I
cooking
feel like
a
if
chicken.
I'm mature, then I have to come to terms with my age, and then if I come to terms with my real age, I will look that age. So I must feel like I'm like 16, 17, just to have the youthfulness of this, you know?
Good luck. Read a book. Grow up. Read a good book. George wants to say something.
Hello,
Welcome.
I like reading too. I think it really does, constantly kind of development of humans, and it does offer an escapism for people, and it does, offer a level of therapy for many, including myself. I wish I could read, all the time. I'm kind of addicted to my phone a lot. That's what's stopping me from reading, but I do love to read. I recently reread a book called, it's about mysticism and how to be a mystic in our modern day society. And mysticism is like a practice about, being closer to a god or being a constant seeker of truth. And not being connected properly to our ever-growing society. So that was the book I recently read. But I do think books help us. I think it just gets to touch, and just spend some time with yourself with a book for a little bit. Yeah, I love reading.
Okay, do you want to read a book in here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, go ahead. Try to read for 5 to 10 minutes.
I will get the book. Okay. Let me just look at my shelf. Okay. It's Ordinary People as Moments and Mistakes by Rhonda Sintal. No, not Rhonda, Marsha Sintal. It's Lifestyles for Spiritual Fullness. I think it was published in the 1980s. Okay. Let me read. Okay, I'll read the introduction. Okay. Introduction. My bias is this. Ordinary people can indeed become whole. They can indeed live in ways that express the highest humanitarian values. Values that also happen to be very shared, most prized universally throughout history. People who become whole consciously integrate inner and outer reality. This is a book about such individuals and the way they the demands of everyday living. Ordinary people can and do inspire others into healthier, more mature choices and behaviors. They can live as good stewards in their community, simultaneously protecting their unique way of being in the world, a way of being that may be so idiosyncratic as to contradict and confound the logical expectations and mindsets of those they would serve. Ordinary people can indeed resolve these and other contradictions alone, without guidance from experts or advice from friends and family. Ordinary people are some of our best experts and teachers on what it means to be self-sufficient and what it means to lead virtuous, courageous lives. This book tells of such people, and it is for them and for all who identify with them. You will be whole as I write. My research began several years ago when my own inclination and interest made me pull away from the way I understand most people live in favor of a more solitary and silent reflective life. Although it isn't my purpose to describe my life experience, every book is in some sense one for every book. This one is no exception. My research was driven by an intuition of what it means to be and become self-actualizing. I still have an intense interest in the values and of actualization and in the process itself. My day-to-day work is as a corporate advisor and an educator who, for several years, has been increasingly interested in adult choices, lifestyles, and development of self-realizing men and women. Both in my practice, where my clients often are purposeful, wholesome, and actualizing, and in this research project, where the values of actualization are more sharply focused. I have felt that the healthiest adults have much to teach about what it means to be mature, generous, virtuous, and even happy. Self-actualization, that state of psychological wholeness or completeness, subjective health and authenticity, emerge as a psychology and as an idea from the inspirational work of scholars like Abraham Maslow. The phrase is now surrounded by much myth and commercialism. Some people believe that people cannot be actualized, that people are always in the process of becoming. Most self-help books and even many psychological textbooks directed at healthcare professionals treat a topic as if only a rare individual can self-actualizing tendencies. I see them as differently. In later chapters, I will discuss how actualization in our species most natural aim is our species' most natural aim. But being actualized is not a main point. This is where I think the misunderstanding of the term has its roots. It is not a final or static destination at which a human being thrives only to stop growing. It is a starting point to my way of thinking. I bear as may have meant in the biblical phrase, born again or the converted, the one who finds wholeness of being. That is through Christ. So that is the book. That's the introduction. I've read 5 minutes. It's by a scholar, kind of a New Age Christian scholar, Marcia Sitar, and she talked about the processes of people becoming mystics, and she discussed something about actualization. It's one of the processes to becoming a mystic. So it's very eye-opening, in many ways. So yeah, it's definitely should actually. So yeah. folks from all different sects, regardless of the right philosophical background.
Okay, I'm going to play this 10-minute clip of Ellen Watts talking about meditation.
Okay, sure.
I hope you enjoy it, because this really is about getting to the wordless state of mind.
If you don't hit a jackpot of 10 trillion coins within 10 spins, just delete the app.
But it's very easy to get together. It doesn't require an enormous amount of dramatic rehearsal. And it's something that any group can do anywhere on a do-it-yourself basis anytime. And I suggest that churches get rid of their pews, where everybody is herded in like cattle to look at the backs of each other's necks, and that they spread their floor with rugs and cushions, and that they have something in which people can approach an ineffable, that means beyond words, spiritual experience, and not be told and forced into a particular pattern of thinking, of mentation. So you see, for that reason, I've only given the slightest suggestion of how one uses these mantra or the silence for meditation. You all have your own way of doing things like that. Do it your own way. All this is a vehicle, a support for contemplation. Listen. Close your eyes and go entirely into a world of sound. If I should say anything to you during this silence, just listen to the sound of my voice and don't worry about the meaning of the words. Your brain will take care of that by itself. The air which is playing with your ears is also playing with your lungs. If you let your lungs breathe as they wish to, without helping them, watch what they do. When they feel like breathing out, let it go out, but don't assist. When it feels like coming in, let it come in, but don't pull. Are you breathing, or is it breathing you? Remember, there is no special state you are supposed to be in. Simply let yourself be aware of whatever state you are in. Don't name it. Just feel. Now only is important. Now, would you gently allow a sound to arise in your imagination, in the ear of the mind, a sound that is pleasing to you and which you would feel natural humming. And letting your breath sort of fall out easily and naturally hum the sound out loud. Let it get louder. And louder.
Okay, it's going to repeat. It's like a lecture in the beginning, and then they go into that meditation. I just played the second half of the lecture. It's going to repeat. So this is Alan Watts' guided meditation. Again, this is Alan Watts' guided meditation.
What seems to me to be lacking in our Western religious observances is some sort of social ritual which gives an opportunity for spiritual experience. That is to say, for a transformation of the individual consciousness, so that in one way or another, the individual is able to realize his oneness with the eternal energy behind this universe, which some people call God, and others prefer not to name or to conceive. So what I'm proposing instead of the ordinary kind of religious service is, as I said, a contemplative ritual. And the idea is not to have everybody shaken up and whooping around, but to bring about a state of profound peace. So therefore I should say something in a preliminary way about meditation, or contemplation, as I prefer to call it. Meditation is the act of allowing one's thoughts to cease, is stopping the agitation of thinking. Thinking is talking to yourself. Now, if I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. Consequently, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thoughts. There is no interval between thoughts during which I can come into touch with reality, that is to say, the world which thoughts represent, as words represent events, or as money represents wealth. And so if I'm never silent in my head, I'm living in a world of total abstraction, divorced from reality altogether. Reality itself is neither mental nor spiritual, nor any concept that we can have of it. Reality is simply
now.
Now, therefore, to meditate, you might think that we attempt to suppress thought. We do not do that. Because you cannot meditate. Let me put that in a more emphatic way. You cannot meditate. You, your ego image, can only chatter. Because when it stops, it isn't there. When you are not thinking, you have no ego, because your ego is a concept. The thinker behind the thoughts, the feeler behind the feelings, and the thinker behind the thoughts is only a thought.